We'll open up the phone lines, talk some Lions football. Preseason game number 2 in the books. I imagine most of the conversation is going to center on Hendon Hooker. John, it's time, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's had plenty of opportunity. And I was really hopeful because I think he is a good personality. He's a good kid. I liked him at Tennessee. I was heartbroken when he tore the ACL. Excited when he had a chance to come here. We're going to get a chance to see him. And now that he has had 2 full training camps, what we saw last year in training camp, what we're seeing now, he had the script in front of him. He didn't protect the football. He didn't get guys in the right positions. There were some drop balls, which aren't 100% on him, but the offense just was going nowhere with him under center.
Yeah, I mean, look, I read it as they benched him. He didn't finish the first half.
Oh, me too. 100%. I thought that he was going to be in there all the way through the first half. Kyle Allen was going to get the second. And then they were like, oh, no, we're not waiting.
And what happened when they made the QB switch?
Boom, right down the field,
Jolt
touchdown.
to life. Vertical shots, playmaking down the field. Like Hendon Hooker, the only play he made down the field was throw a hospital ball to Craig Reynolds. I mean, he scrambled for a first down, but every other third down was either incomplete or short of the sticks. He did not look the part of a backup quarterback. He did not look the part, most importantly, of a guy you'd want to put in a game for a key series late in the year or in not ideally, but a playoff game, right? And last year they didn't feel comfortable with him in a playoff game. Have you seen enough to feel like he's improved? I haven't.
No, I don't think he's any better this year than he was last year. In fact, you could even say there was a regression because last year there was some glimpses of hope, right? His mobility, he was able to pick up some first downs. And then this year, it didn't seem like he had a good grasp of the offense, of protections, where the hot reads were, when he was going to be under duress. He seemed surprised at times. And it's a mastery of the offense. You're out there, you don't have the number 1 offensive line in front of you. You don't have Amon-Ra St. Brown or J-Mo to throw the ball to, but you're also going against a defense that is not going to be the starting defense that you're going to be facing. And he just didn't have command of the offense.
Last year, the Lions broke camp with 2 quarterbacks on their roster. Would you feel comfortable if the 2 quarterbacks are Jared Goff and Hendon Hooker?
No.
So then let me throw out some names for you.
Oh, okay.
We could play a little bit of a game here. Hooker or. First name, Jameis Winston.
Oh, I'd take Jameis Winston just as a quote machine. Just give me the praying to the turnover, the pick six gods.
Could you imagine him in Dan Campbell's locker room?
Oh man, I'd take him just as a personality. But anyone you're talking about is going to have positives and negatives. He's had some starting experience. He's been able to go out there and move an offense forward. He's also gone out there and just absolutely self-imploded.
So, but you would take him because they have 3 quarterbacks in New York, and they're not going to release Dart, who they just used a first-round pick on, and Russell Wilson's the starter. So they may elect to carry 3, but if someone gave him a day 3 pick, they probably move Jameis Winston.
Right.
Yeah. Kenny Pickett, former first-round pick. Could he do the job as a backup, him or Hendon Hooker?
Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
And it's not even close.
We're 2 for 2. Taylor Heineke, once upon a time, played in a playoff game and was right down the wire with Tom Brady. It's been a few years. He's with the Chargers. They, of course, have Trey Lance.
Yeah.
He would be the 3rd guy. Would you rather have Heineke or Hooker?
Heineke.
Okay,
and I think wasn't Heineke a part of the conversation
last year?
A year ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
How about this one? Drew Lock. I don't know what Seattle's going to do, but they have Milroe, who they drafted. Yeah. He
looked good.
And he may be their backup behind Sam Darnold. Would you rather have Drew Lock or Hendon Hooker?
This is...
if you hesitate, you probably keep the guy you already have.
Yeah. It's. I don't want either. Can I say that?
Carson Wentz.
Oh, Carson Wentz.
Free agent available.
That's an easy one. We talked about him last couple
backed up Mahomes last year. Doesn't have a job. Case Keenum. Maybe the Bears keep him as their backup, or they keep Bagent and they don't carry 3. He's an older veteran, has played in some games.
I would probably say Case Keenum.
Okay.
For those reasons, right? He's a vet. He's probably not on the level of a Teddy Bridgewater, but I think he's clearly shown that he can be better than Hooker.
Kyle Trask.
Oh, Govs boy.
Tom's guy. Would you have him or Hendon Hooker? And if it's a tie, you probably keep the guy you already have. But Tom,
I would probably say Kyle Trask. I think there's a better upside. The issue is going to be when you bring in somebody new. Again, you're hoping you don't ever have to use him.
Yeah.
But Kyle Trask has not been a part of this offense. How long will it take him if he's got to come in week 2 against the Bears to get you out of the game? Is he going to be prepared enough at that time, or would you be better off with Hendon Hooker getting you out of that game?
I'd rather go with Trask, but it's not. I would not give up something to get him. You know, that's the thing. Like some of these names, you're going to have to give up something. Like to me, especially Jameis Winston.
But he might be the only one. Like, what are the Browns doing? Are they going to carry 4? Are they like? Actually, they have 5.
No,
they brought in Tyler Huntley. Now
Yeah.
that may be just to get through the preseason, but like
He's a Pro Bowler.
I'll throw him out then. Go ahead, take him.
I would say I don't think the Browns would be willing to give up Pickett. I think
So
they're
you
gonna
break it down. You be their GM. Are you carrying 5?
No.
4? 3? Who are the 3?
Bye Gabriel.
Okay.
After what Shador did the other day.
Yeah.
But then Huntley, who they just added, was just a camp body. He'd be available again. Like there will be someone from Cleveland that you could consider here.
Oh, there's no question. There'll probably be 2 or 3 that you could consider.
I mean,
I don't know that I would take if they release Dylan Gabriel or put him on the practice squad and you get a chance to go pick him up, I would probably stay with Hooker over Gabriel.
The other name you mentioned, Heineke, I don't think he'll be available. This Trey Lance experiment. I mean, look, they may keep him around, but they're protecting Herbert with Heineke.
Yeah.
First thing you do when you Google Taylor Heineke is time running out in Los Angeles. If they want to carry 3, God bless.
Well, if they think they're all of a sudden, maybe Harbaugh does. He's the smartest guy in the room all the time, so he's the one that's going to all of a sudden make Trey Lance good. Wouldn't that be ironic, John?
Looked okay against us in his first preseason game. I didn't see how he looked last night.
Seriously.
He looked all right last night. I mean, he did not look as good as he did the first time, but he did take him down and score a touchdown.
So, Hendon Hooker, the question is it time to move on? Maybe some people think it's still too early. He's still so young. We've seen these quarterbacks that blossom late. I'm just not seeing him turn a corner. And by the way, this is an extension of what we've seen in practice and what people who've watched every practice have also said.
Well, so I think the other exercise we could do is if this is the route they go, and it is Jared Goff, obviously, year 1, Kyle Allen is 2, and they're going to keep 3 and go with Hendon Hooker still on the roster and use a roster spot on him. I think that is that's bizarre.
Don't do that.
And so if he's on the look squad, he's on the practice squad.
What do you think happens? Someone take him? Because that's the decision Brad would have to make here. Is I can't imagine there.
No one's knocking on the door for Hendon Hooker.
So then you stash him on your practice squad if you can get away with it.
Yeah. But then the question is, okay, go through that lineup and say, would you rather have Kyle Allen or Jameis Winston? Kyle Allen or Kenny Pickett or Taylor Heineke, Carson Wentz, Case Keenum, Kyle Trask.
Two very different Kyle Allen games that we've watched.
Right.
Do you wait another week? He should start the 3rd game, right?
I would think, yeah.
And the only guy that's available is Carson Wentz. Everybody else is on a roster, so you're waiting anyway.
Yeah, you're waiting to see if somebody, gets released or if somebody's on a practice squad that you can pick up.
Chris and Redford, you got a take on this? You're on 97.1.
Hey, good morning, fellas. John, go blue, buddy.
Go blue.
Hey, guys, the backup quarterback is not on this roster right now. I know Kyle Allen played good enough on Friday, but I'm sorry, man. You got Carson Wentz out there. You got the proven veteran guys. Go out and sign them, because if Goff goes down, we're screwed. I mean, you're going to count on Kyle Allen to get us to the playoffs? Nope. There is not a quarterback on this roster right now that's going to be a backup. It's somebody else that's out there that hopefully Brad Holmes will wake up and realize he really has to put protection behind Jared Goff if we want to have the season we want to have.
Well, think about it too, right? So this team isn't expected to win 15 games. It's a much tougher schedule. There's a bunch of stuff early in the season, opponents, coordinator changes, offensive line shuffling. If they end up losing a couple more games, suddenly you're in a spot where 1 or 2 games could decide the division, home playoff, advantages, all that stuff. Do you really want to leave it to a guy you didn't trust last year in Hendon Hooker who hasn't looked any better this year? No, you don't. Texter says the Hooker sack fumble was bad. I don't even think we brought up both turnovers. But yeah, he had 2 fumbles. Pressure came from the left. The line was okay. Says Manu stepped too deep, but Hooker had open routes, stepped into the pressure, bad awareness, not sure he's NFL ready. And Mike in Roseville says they brought back Bridgewater last year for a playoff game because they don't trust Hooker. This wouldn't be a surprise.
No, it wouldn't be a surprise to anyone if they moved on from Hendon Hooker. And the only thing it brings up is, did Brad Holmes waste a draft pick on him? And I mean, you could talk about Levi Onwuzurike,
Broderick
talk
Martin.
about Broderick Martin, Ennis Rakestraw, and Hendon Hooker. I didn't have an issue with it when they drafted him because I thought the gamble was worth the risk.
Yeah, I want to push back, not to you, but the idea that it was a mistake. Not every pick's going to hit.
No.
By definition, if the player doesn't pan out, was it a bad pick? I don't know. The thought process was there. The thought was, I'm getting a first-round grade where I don't need to play him right away, where I can take 2 years in a favorable system, and I haven't extended my starter yet. At that point, Goff had not earned an extension yet.
Whoever graded him first round is not watching the same football I am. I've seen so many college quarterbacks play like he did and be garbage in the NFL.
Yeah,
there was no sophistication to the offense whatsoever. You know, so you can grade him all you want. And look, he is going to miss. But, I don't have a problem with taking the Broderick Martins and the Onwuzurikes of the world where you see talent there and for other reasons it didn't happen. But when you take a quarterback, come on, man. You got to have some level of pro sophistication in college to translate over.
I think they looked at quick release, athleticism, and said, we can coach up talent. Right? That's the job of coaching, is to coach up talent. Hasn't happened.
Yeah, but you could look back at all of the quarterbacks that were busts in the first round.
Right.
And look at it and say, I mean, Kenny Pickett was a first-round pick. I didn't think he should be a first-round pick.
Same.
And there are coaches in the NFL that simply look at one or two things, a skill set, and say, I can make him a superstar. That's why these guys are drafted. That's why they stick around, because there's more than just one. There may be 2 or 3. You only need one to like you.
Well, I'll tell you what. We talked about the Tigers earlier and Chris Fetter fixing people. There comes a point where you got to check yourself a little bit and say, whoa. Like you mentioned Pickett. My one back in the day, Christian Ponder going 12th overall. I'm like, this is laughable. I could see the talent and potential in a Ryan Tannehill. I think he went in the same draft maybe, and he went 8th. But the difference in player to Ponder, it's like, whatever. These guys sometimes, go to the John Gruden quarterback show back in the day. I mean, you'd think they were all Hall of Famers by the time he got done with them.
Right. That's a good point. 248-539-9797. The reviews of Hendon Hooker. And if you have other takeaways, John, we haven't talked about anything else from the game. Want to know what stood out to you next, 97.1.